What's it like to drive a vintage muscle car today? These classic beasts from the 60s and 70s, like Mustangs and Camaros, capture hearts with their raw power and timeless style, but they come with unique challenges. Did you know some states legally allow driving them without seatbelts due to their age? Yet, these cars lack modern safety features like airbags, making every drive a thrilling but risky adventure. How do drivers balance nostalgia with safety, and what if you could have the best of both worlds? Classic looks paired with modern performance and reliability through Restomods? If you love muscle cars or are curious about their real-world drive, don't forget to subscribe and join us as we explore the passion, risks, and innovations behind these iconic machines. Let's get started. Driving a classic muscle car daily sounds amazing, right? But here's the reality. This car demands your full attention. Think of being stuck in traffic with a sticky carburetor, a heavy clutch, and no air conditioning. Sounds tough? It is. Yet for many who've lived it, this roughness is part of the charm. Unlike modern cars that feel smooth and predictable, these vintage machines rumble, creak, and sometimes even leak, giving you a raw, mechanical connection. You're not just pressing buttons, you're feeling every shift, every gear change. Ever thought about why modern cars, despite all their tech, sometimes feel bland? That's because they lack this direct, visceral connection to the driver. Classic muscle cars demand skill and attention, making every drive a full-body experience. So, would you want a daily driver that makes you work but rewards you with unmatched character? It's a love-hate relationship, but one that's hard to walk away from. What do you think? Could you handle the traits of vintage muscle daily? Beyond their characteristics, these muscle cars offer something modern vehicles can't: an authentic mechanical bond. It's more than driving. It's a deep connection that pulls you back to an era where every shift meant pure engagement. Moving into a Pontiac GTO or Dodge Challenger RT instantly takes you back in time. There's a unique feeling of power you sense as you grip the steering wheel and rev the engine's thunderous growl. Unlike modern cars packed with electronics controlling everything, these classics offer a direct mechanical connection. Your inputs translate immediately to what the car does. No traction control to save you, just your skill. The analog gauges give you a simple real-time readout. No digital distractions, just speed, RPM, oil pressure, and temperature. Doesn't that sound refreshing? It's raw, honest, and demands your full focus. Have you ever felt more in tune with a car than just driving it? Classic muscle cars don't mask their power. They let you feel every ounce of it, which is something many modern vehicles lack. Would you prefer this kind of hands-on driving or the ease of today's tech? This car stops people in their tracks. Their bold colors, aggressive stance, and unmistakable shapes make them impossible to ignore. Picture cruising down the street and seeing people pull out their phones to snap photos as you pass by. That's the power of a vintage muscle car's design. Unlike today's cars, which often blend with similar styling, each classic model has unique features that make it stand out. Whether it's a Mustang's long hood or a Camaro's muscular curves, these cars make a lasting impression. It's not just about looks either. The design reflects an era where cars were statements of personality and attitude. When was the last time you saw a car that made you stop and admire it? Do you think modern car designs will ever capture that same bold spirit? While their striking looks capture attention, these classics also come with complex safety realities. Varying laws and a lack of modern protections remind us that beauty sometimes demands caution behind the wheel. Safety is a big topic with vintage muscle cars, especially because seatbelt laws vary widely by state. In the US, some states free from classic cars built before certain years from strict seatbelt rules. For instance, California exempts cars made before 1964, and Texas before 1968. This means you could be legally driving without seatbelts in some places, but that doesn't mean it's safe. Vintage muscle cars were made before airbags or modern crash safety designs existed. That's why owners often invest in regular maintenance and sometimes upgrade parts like headlights for better visibility. Would you drive a classic car knowing it doesn't have the same safety features as modern vehicles? How important is safety compared to the thrill of driving a piece of history? Safety concerns aside, muscle cars remain beloved symbols of a freer time, a golden era of unbridled horsepower and daring designs that continue to inspire passion across generations. We hope you're enjoying this. If so, then subscribe and hit the bell to get updates. The classic muscle car market is booming right now, and it's all because of nostalgia. Cars like Mustangs, Corvettes, GTOs, and Camaros were born in a time when America's spirit was bold and free. Think the 1960s and early 70s. It was a time before fuel crises and strict regulations, when horsepower was king and designs were wild. These cars represent more than just metal and engines. They're symbols of an era where driving was about passion, rebellion, and raw power. Even though the muscle car's popularity dipped after the fuel crisis due to stricter standards, the love never died. Today's restomods and restorations are proof that people are willing to invest big money to relive that youthful thrill. What do you think makes these cars so timeless? Power, style, or the stories behind them? However, reliving that golden age means accepting the downsides, i.e. limited safety, finicky mechanics, and the reality that these machines require care, skill, and respect, especially when pushed beyond casual cruising. As exciting as vintage muscle cars are, they come with real challenges, especially for regular use or track days. Safety tops the list. Unlike modern supercars loaded with airbags and advanced crash protection, vintage cars were built with fewer safety measures. Their frames aren't as crash resistant, and they have no driver aids. This makes them riskier to drive fast or push hard. Then there's reliability. Classic muscle cars use carburetors that can be finicky, especially in varying weather or traffic. They're not built to be hammered on a track repeatedly like modern cars. So, if you want to race or drive aggressively, these cars require a lot of care and skill. Would you take on the risks of driving a vintage muscle car regularly, or is it better left to special occasions? How much do you value safety over nostalgia? Here's where things get interesting. Restomods, classic cars rebuilt with modern tech. Instead of just restoring a vintage muscle car to original specs, builders upgrade everything from the engine to suspension and transmission. This means you get the classic look and attitude with modern reliability and safety. Fuel-injected engines replace carburetors, and modern suspensions handle better on the road or track. This makes classic muscle cars more accessible and safer for everyday driving or even racing. Of course, this kind of build isn't cheap. High-quality restorations require specialist shops and serious investment. Plus, events using these cars would need stricter safety checks and driver training because handling differs from modern vehicles. So, would you prefer a pure vintage experience or a restomod that blends old-school style with new-age performance? Could restomods be the future for muscle car enthusiasts who want the best of both worlds? Vintage muscle cars embody raw power, timeless style, and a unique driving experience that connects you directly with the road. While they come with challenges like limited safety features and unique mechanical features, their nostalgic charm is undeniable. Restomods offer a brilliant solution by merging classic aesthetics with modern performance and reliability, making these icons safer and more practical for today's roads. Whether you're a die-hard purist or open to innovation, the love for muscle cars is about passion and personality. Share your thoughts below and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives.